This right here is Jadarian Price. When I played against Notre Dame, and the extent of my playing was just warming up on the grass. I was a backup and third string for every single time that I played at Notre Dame. But when I game planned for Notre Dame, they did not have a back like him. They had some good backs, but this dude, top five running back class in his top five running back recruit in his class. Doak Walker award watch list. Earl Campbell, Tyler Rose watch list. And you're probably saying, Max, there's no way. Get out of here. Notre Dame has always had great running backs. They've had guys that have been carrying the ball for them every single year. That's Notre Dame's identity. And you're right. But every other year, they don't have a number two back in that spot on the depth chart like Notre Dame does this year, and a guy that's getting less than 20 carries a game that's an absolute baller. And the more that I looked into this, the more insane that I got. Like, check out the tape with me, listen to this research, and at the end of it, I think you can legitimately make the argument that the two best running backs in the country are wearing Notre Dame uniforms. Sounds crazy. I don't think it is. Notre Dame backfield is absolutely loaded. Check this first play out here. We already talked about it, so I'll rip through it. I said it from a negative USC point, but the reality is it's a pro Notre Dame stance as well. Right up the middle, gets to the second level in a hurry. We talked about the blocking scheme. That's early on in the game. Chunk yardage play, end of the first quarter. We talked about the blocking assignment. For those that are not seeing the first segment, I'll draw it again here. Notre Dame guard kicking out on this end. Notre Dame tight end looping all the way around and dominating this linebacker. 23 for USC. He gets lost in the combination block to him from guard to center. And this is just old-fashioned day one install, getting a hat for a hat. That's one thing that Notre Dame does so well against USC that it doesn't always translate. Notre Dame doesn't do this against everyone. They consistently get a hat for a hat. Hat for hat means exactly what it sounds like. One offensive blocker is getting assigned to the appropriate defensive guy, whether it's a linebacker or a defensive end. When run games get messed up, it's oftentimes because pulling guards and tackles are running into each other. A pulling tight end and pulling guard accidentally block the same guy and not to their normal assignment, because this is real life. I mean, it's easy to break down this run scheme when I'm sitting on my couch, but when you're actually, having live bullets, to have your tight end know his responsibility to come all the way around and get this guy, that's good execution. And it's good vision, too, by Price. Gets through, breaks a tackle. Easy money. And this one right here is the touchdown run. I'll play it from the all-22 version and then or angle, and then I'll break it down from the back view. Price, the burst, the acceleration. Right here, I want you to check out. Look at this right guard. Get up onto the linebacker in a hurry. Linebacker, I need better awareness. You got the tight ends blocking back. Offensive line's flowing this way. And check out my guy right here, right tackle. Just domination up front. Right guard. Quickly gets up on the backer. This is just too easy. Yes, you like the violence here from the defensive tackle for USC, but this hole is ginormous. Good luck, safety. Good luck coming down here and making a tackle. Again, because Price, this isn't just, hey, insert a random scout team running back. This is a dude now. Pancakes all around. And the reason he's not playing, Price that is, or the reason he's not a starter, even though I think he's that good, he would start on most teams in the country, is because I do think they have the best running back in the country as their starting running back. And that is this dude right here, Jeremiyah Love. Look at how violent this run is. This is excellent blocking scheme by the offensive line. I'll play this view and then I'll draw it in the back. Look at 74, Notre Dame's left guard, and how he washes USC's defensive tackle down. This is what I'm talking about. USC's defensive linemen, it feels like they're playing timid. It's almost like they're playing so they can be the person that goes back to their defensive meeting rooms being like, I did my job. I stayed in my gap. I wasn't the one that got out of my gap, but they're not looking to make a play. They're not holding firm, looking to make a tackle. It's almost just like kind of running themselves out of the play. And this is the perfect example. I get that this defensive tackle is sliding, towards his left, but look at the guard for Notre Dame just totally kick him out of the club. And then it allows Love to break through. Look at this. Or cut through. Find a lane. Right here. Look at that. Watch. Boom, boom, boom. Easy money. That is excellent offensive line play. And then look at the run at the end. Jeremiyah Love after contact. I have the stat here. Jeremyah Love, 24 carries, career high, 228 yards and a touchdown, 5 catches, 37 yards. 107 of Love's 228 rushing yards were after contact. Right here is an example of 8 of those yards coming after contact. Let's get back to Price, Jadarian Price. I love how slippery he is. He's not small necessarily. He's got the burst. He's got power, but he's able to get skinny. When you hear an announcer like me and you're sitting on your couch saying, oh, running back does a great job getting skinny, this is what get skinny means. Price had 13 carries, 87 yards and a touchdown, 1 catch, 9 yards. But check this out real quick. USC is going to bring a safety into the box, trying to get involved. Notre Dame's run game's killing us. Notre Dame's tight end, man, he blocked well. I didn't catch his name. I gotta be better at that. But he's gonna block defensive end. This should be a matchup. If you're USC, physical defensive end, you should win on a tight end. Tight end should not be able to control you one-on-one. And then what happens is Notre Dame is gonna flush down this way, and USC gets out of their gap. No one from USC's side defends this C gap right here, and Price is going to take advantage. There's a mix-up between defensive tackle, linebacker, and safety, bang. In terms of you got safety here in the B gap, you got a D tackle here in the A gap, I want to say. You got Gentry, who's a hell of a player, maybe trying to roam, trying to find the right gap and play running back as a linebacker to come up and make this tackle, but he gets sucked up on the inside. This is why I also like run games that can get to different things. You've seen Notre Dame run inside zone. You've seen Notre Dame run counter. This is more outside zone. They're trying to enter this ball behind the tight end and the tackle, which then if you're a linebacker, you've been getting killed inside the whole game. Maybe that makes Gentry just a step slow. He's hanging inside the box. And then you got just clean lane right here for, sorry, it's a terrible arrow, for a huge gain. Bang, bang, slip. Oh, that was my whole point. Sorry, my whole thesis. Look at this, is getting skinny. Look at that. He's going to use his right foot, cut up, and get skinny through this hole. Bop. So slippery. That's so good, too. A lot of young running backs might try to bounce that thing and only get 3 yards, cut up, and make a play. And Tanner, let's get to those slides real quick. Just for some context stat-wise, I thought this was really interesting. Yards per attempt leaders in the Power 4. Pause, take a second to glance at this. They got 2 dudes in the top 10. And their backup running backs right now, sitting Notre Dame, that is, sitting at number 4 in the country. You got 2 running backs in the top 10 in the country in yards per attempt. That's getting it done. Both guys are top 5 in touchdowns in the Power 4 as well. Love's got 9, Price has got 8. That's a recipe for playing football into January. And then one more just for good measure. Rush yards in the Power 4. This is a lot of names, a lot of text. But obviously pay attention to the 2 highlights there. Price sitting at number 23 in the country. Jeremiyah Love sitting at 3. And I could have done a whole breakdown on Jeremiyah Love. You guys heard what I said. I think he's the best running back in America. The full package. I love low-key, I love Isaac Brown, and the world saw him Friday night. When he's healthy, he's a stud at Louisville. But anyways, yeah, two guys, top 25 rushing yards in the Power 4. And when your identity is pounding the rock, that helps you in November when other defensive lines get extremely thin. And then just for fun, good measure, because if you're watching this, you love the X's and O's. Very rare. This is back-to-back weeks. We're breaking down a special teams play, which gotta love that. Shout out special teams. My dad was a kicker. But all right, we're talking kickoff here. This is Jadarian Price's kickoff return. Don't get a lot of love from the specialists, so I want you guys to pay attention to three guys here. On kickoff, they number guys like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in terms of number one, furthest away. Actually, I don't know. Is number one closest or furthest to the kicker? Shows you how much special teams I've played. Someone in the comments, let me know. But anyways, I'm going to say number one is furthest away from the kicker. All right. This is the guys that are getting coached up in USC's special teams meeting. Max, how did this kickoff return happen? Sorry. How did this kickoff return happen? I point to number 2 in the line. I point to number 4 in the line. And I point to number 5 in the line. Number 5 gets held. The refs missed a call. USC got screwed. It happens. It's football. Number 4 on the line got absolutely truck stick. His shit got rocked. We got to be better than that. Notre Dame, good on you. And then number 2 down here on the bottom, this guy's got to make the tackle. This guy had a chance to make the tackle. He's wrapped up. But good luck when you have a starting caliber running back, Jadarian Price, as your kickoff returner, not just a gadget slot receiver guy. He's going to break tackles. Might be easier when I get. So we're looking at 2, got to make the tackle. 4, can't get truck sticked. 5, I'm sorry, you got held. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Bang. All right. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I'm the backup quarterback that did not play special teams. This is a violent game. This dude got truck stick. This dude's got to make the tackle. This dude's getting held. Missed tackle, truck stick, hold. It's out the gate. If Alex Wood was the kicker, though, I officiated his wedding last weekend. He would have made that tackle. He had a tackle. I got to find the footage. He had a tackle in the Notre Dame game in 2013 against Amir Abdullah. My 5'10", however much he weighs, little kicker making a tackle. It was hype. Shit was hype.